Hi there, welcome back to the channel. 5 things we learn in, a game against Rangers up in Edinburgh yesterday afternoon. So, the first thing that stood out to me in a big way was Amad Diallo. I'm sitting there looking at Amad Diallo thinking, you look like the best player on the pitch. So there's a big decision that needs to be made here with Amad Diallo. He's shown glimpses, didn't he, towards the back end of last season where we were like, he might be the answer, or an answer at least. He knits the play real nice. He rarely loses possession. It comes into him. His ball retention's absolutely top drawer. Can he be a starter for Manchester United? I think he can. I really do think he can. We've seen a level of consistency of him when he was playing week in, week out in the Championship, and he was doing well. He was drifting in from that spot a little bit, but I think if you're looking for a right winger that's going to overload, a right back that's going to overload, and if we're going to push, 5 across the back line, I think it makes total sense that you have one that's going to operate on the inside channel. Perfect. It works so well with how I see the team sort of shaping up a little bit. So he's comfortably better than Anthony. The ball retention alone is better than Anthony. His finishing is better than Anthony. His chance creation is better than Anthony. His dribbling is better than Anthony. I can't see a single reason why you would start Anthony ahead of him. Not one, actually. He's more ambidextrous than Anthony. So I just think that there's so many reasons why you would want to be playing Amad Diallo instead of anybody else in the squad on the right wing. The decision has to be made, I think. If you're not going to buy someone, then the kid has to be given the opportunity to go and play. And I don't know if we've got the funds to be able to go and buy someone that's going to absolutely guarantee just walk in and be that right winger. So, again, another big performance from him. Let's see how he gets on. Number 2, Leny Yoro. So, obviously, we talked a little bit yesterday about Leny Yoro and how well he did. Let's get the stats up and have a look at that. So 48 passes, 44 successful. So 44 out of 48 successful passes, 51 touches. He managed 3 passes into the final third. He had 2 recoveries, won 100% of his duels, 100% of his tackles. So you can't really ask for more than that. Yes, level of opposition matters. This wasn't a Champions League final against a Real Madrid, of course, but you can only ask him to do what's been put in front of him. Now, you extrapolate that over a Premier League match, which is probably going to be a 10% higher intensity in the game, because that was only in the first half. You're looking at a 90 to 100 pass game comfortably out of him. Comfortably. And that's a centre-half that's comfortable dictating the play and all that sort of stuff. So that works for me in a big, big way. Very impressed with what he did. His recovery pace was there. He was dictating was there. And I don't care how much he's cost. He's 18. So it's so impressive to see what he's doing right now. I remember Rio at 18, and there was a rawness to him. And there's a rawness to Leny Yoro as well. But when they get to that 23, 24 kind of age, which is 6 years away, by the way, you really start to see them round out into a real pro. And his physicality is going to grow as well. His frame is there to become an absolute unit. So let's hope he gets broader with it too. But very, very impressive debut. Cannot wait to see where it goes to next. Number 3, the backup midfield options. So, while United are running around trying to sign Ugarte, and there's a good chance I'll be going live later talking about how we've just signed Ugarte, the way this kind of lays up. We saw Manu break through and really take ownership in pre-season. It was like Arsenal game, everyone went, wait a minute, what's going on here? And it kind of rolled on through the rest of pre-season. Then he got injured. Then we was without him for months. Then he came back on the scene and absolutely owned the second half of the season for United, didn't he? Well, this season we've seen Toby Collier and Maxi Oyedele sort of do the same kind of thing. They've stepped up and they've started to dictate games from deep. And now they're Manu, Oyedele and Collier, they're 3 different flavours of the same sort of midfield, really. So I'm watching them on transition. I'm watching them both closely to see, can they do... I know they're all sweet with the ball. All of them. All of them are real sweet with the ball. Can one of them show me that they can be a bit of a ratter without the ball? I know Max and Toby have both played as number 6s in the past, but doing that when you've got the shape that Manchester United first team want to play, the pressure that's going to be on that individual to stop those wild transitions. Can one of these do it? So I'm going to be watching them closely throughout the rest of pre-season. Now, if you do sign Ugarte, the pressure's not quite on them in the same way. All they have to do is back up Ugarte. And that would be absolutely fine. And I think either of them could do that. But it'd be real interesting to see if either or both of them stick around after pre-season to be part of the squad to fill in. Because when I'm watching them on the ball, they don't look like academy players getting a run out, which admittedly some players have looked in the Rangers and Rosenborg games. It looks like, you're getting some minutes, but you're not really adding anything here. Oyedele and Collier do not look like that. They look like they're on the next level up. They look like they're first team players playing a pre-season game. So it'd be really interesting to see if they're able to be stuck around and be those backup midfield options for United, because I'm seeing no reason why not at the moment with them. Number 4. Now this one's going to make me smile a little bit. So, Ruud on the sideline. Oh, it was good, wasn't it? Even with his specs on, it gave me a buzz just watching Ruud van Nistelrooy sitting there on the sideline. And obviously we've got Rennie Hack in there as well. Ten Hag on the sideline, all they're sitting together in front of their iPads. Kids these days. Now, I did speak to one of the players yesterday. And I was real curious about what Ruud's like in training. Is he taking control of our attacking phase stuff? Is he just taking control of shooting? And he's actually across everything. So he's across everything, but he comes into his own a little bit, starts to sparkle a little bit when it gets to the final third stuff. And you obviously seen Hugo mention that they'd been working on some shooting. And by the way, who better to work on shooting with than Ruud van fucking Nistelrooy? Oh my goodness. But yeah, Ruud does it all in training. And I asked, is he the bad cop that we've been sort of imagining him to be, because he was such a ruthless bastard as a player? And no, actually, he's pretty chill. So he's working across everything. Obviously, he's doing some individual shooting with some of the boys. You best believe I'm going to get giddy about having Ruud van Nistelrooy on the sideline. You best believe I'm going to get Ruud van Nistelrooy with him on the sideline. I'm going to get excited about it, because one of the absolute best footballers I've seen, and most effective footballers in a United shirt. Now, I don't think the system that we played at the time suited him too much, but he delivered. Now, if he can do anything like that as a part of the coaching staff, oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, I've enjoyed seeing Ruud. I've enjoyed seeing Ruud on his social media, like being back at United and just buzzing to be him. And it makes me feel like we're doing the right things again. It really does. And number 5, on to America. So I'm going to spend a couple of hours today packing my shit up. We go Wednesday. We arrive Thursday afternoon. Excuse me. Straight to LA. Don't know what we're doing in LA. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. I don't know if there's any meetups or anything like that. If you'd like to suggest some of those, we'll do that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how we do. I think we've got Arsenal on Saturday and then Real Betis. Is it midweek Wednesday? Something like that. So looking forward to it, man. Bit of LA, bit of San Diego. And then I'm coming home before the Liverpool game a week on Saturday. So we'll see how it all rolls out, eh? But on to America. We'll get the tour announcement, I'm sure, in the next day or two about which players are actually going on the tour. You would expect some of the bigger hitters to start coming back into the team a little bit now. England players, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. But yeah, we'll see how it rolls. Can't wait to get going. And if you're out there, well, I'll see you out there. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.